What's the retail on one of those?
Retail? Probably $4,100.
Oh man. What do you do for a living?
These cars.
All right, we've got the B17, our unicorn motor, in the car, and I think we're going to take off to the dyno. I actually have a B18C as well, but if this makes enough horsepower, I'm just going to leave it in there. Welcome to VTEC Academy. You're about to get schooled. Okay, so I have the EF Backmarker, and we've got a B17 in it. Everything's running. Doesn't run well, so I think a trip to the dyno is in order. So we're going to head off over to Xact Dyno and throw that thing on the pods and see what kind of horsepower we're making. Maybe we can extract a little more. Everything's running without check engine light, but I know something's up because it feels kind of dog slow. Anyway, let's go.
Hey guys, once again I found myself over at Tim Kelly at Xact Dyno, and we are here with Project Backmarker. If you recall, we have a B17 in here, and we're going to try and get it tuned up so it idles nice and is a little bit more drivable. So here we go. So we had our first interesting development. Tim checked throttle travel, and we were only about 80% with full throttle. So I adjusted the cable and basically got zero improvement. So I bent the throttle pedal back so it had more travel, and that seems to fix it. We now have full throttle when the fully depressed. Typically when we do these, we have an O2 sensor that we put in the back of the exhaust. The Mugen exhaust, the openings are so tiny, we do not have a small enough pipe to go in there. So anyway, I'm gonna hope that's low. Seen the notes that I put up just a few seconds ago, but basically I think it's got the stock cat for the Civic on it. That's not helping. It also has Mugen exhaust for the Civic on it, which is tiny. So I think we're swimming out against the stream on this particular tune. I don't think we're going to get much more than what we got right now. So a little disappointed, but the exhaust sounds nice. But I think it's kind of restrictive. Well, the dyno was a success, actually. It's putting out 155 horsepower, and that is through, I mentioned earlier it had Mugen exhaust, it's actually HKS exhaust. It's making that kind of horsepower through HKS exhaust and the original catalytic converter that came on this D15. So not too shabby. I think it is working out pretty good. So maybe I'll keep it in the car. Anyway, I'm gonna drive around, and if it's as fun as I think it is, this is going to be the engine that stays in the car. Let's take it for a spin.
They don't hear me though. Cycles going round and round like a merry-go. Stand for truth, but fall for any old scenario. That's why I keep my circle smaller than a Cheerio.
Bad valve stem.
You might be able to just tighten that nut. It's kind of hard to get to from this side. Get some soapy water and
Spray it on there.
shake it on too. idling right there. No more bubbles.
Know your worth and don't sell cheap. The ghost is inside of me, can't take it out of me. No matter where I've been, it's about where I'm meant to be. I be shining perfect timing. Check your watch, and I know who I am. I am no longer lost.
All in all, the car is pretty solid. I have a few complaints though, basically ride quality things. I'm sure you can see it's a bit bouncy, and if you look here at this seat, it's only held in with 3 bolts right now. You can see it moving a little bit much. And we basically have what feels like one of the shocks, the left front shock, feels like it might not have any dampening fluid in it anymore. So it's a bit rattly. So we're gonna go ahead and get that rebuilt. I'm also gonna raise it up just a little bit. I mean, this height is fine for shows and stuff like that, but this is Arizona. We've got potholes. We've got storm drainage that's got steep sides. We have speed bumps in residential areas. All the things that are not particularly friendly to a car that's this low. And I just don't pay attention anymore enough to avoid all that stuff. Those potholes and speed bumps sneak up on me and boom, not so good. But I want to say, this car is a real head turner. And when you get on it, the exhaust sounds amazing. It's a little bit small, something a little bit bigger might work better, but overall I like the sound of it. I think what I'm going to try and do is put a bigger catalytic converter on it, maybe one for a B20, and see if that doesn't uncork a little bit more power. But I'm 65 this year, and although this really is my dream car, this and the same year CRX, I'm getting a little bit old to enjoy the low life like I used to. I do want a little bit of suspension travel, but it sure sounds cool when VTEC kicks in. Here's a little straight piece of road we can do it on. Here we go. Pretty cool, even bouncing it off the rev limiter. Although it's not a rev limiter, it's a shift indicator. Remember that. Storm drainage. Yeah, that's why I'm going to raise it up a little. I think a little more spring rate might be good too. I don't mind a stiff ride. I just don't like a bouncy ride. All right, let's hit VTEC one more time and head back. Here we go. Like I said, it's not a rev limiter, it's a shift indicator. I've been driving too many K20s. I keep wanting to get a few extra RPM out of them. I'll learn how high I can rev it after a few more days of driving it. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please think about liking and subscribing. We'll make more videos like this, bringing out kind of cool cars thing. This one still needs a little bit of work, so we'll be back out again. Maybe this time we'll take it up the mountain and do a little bit of canyon carving. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot. Please think about liking and subscribing. We're right near that 100,000 mark, and all we need is a little bump to get us over. Anyway, we'll catch you later. Thanks for clicking on us.